In the fading light of a suburban backyard in Boise, Idaho, where the Snake River whispered secrets to the cottonwoods, lived Elena and her son, Tommy. Elena was a single mom, her hands calloused from years of waitressing at the local diner, her laugh a rare melody that could chase away the chill of Idaho winters. Tommy, at 12, was her anchor, a boy with freckles like scattered stars and eyes that held the curiosity of endless summer days. They had built a life together after Elena's husband walked out, leaving behind nothing but a rusted toolbox and a half-finished treehouse. Their ritual was the swing set in the backyard, a creaky wooden relic Elena had salvaged from a garage sale. Every evening after school, Tommy would swing high, his sneakers kicking the sky, while Elena pushed gently from behind. "Higher, Mom." "To the moon," he'd yell, and she'd laugh, her heart swelling with the kind of fierce love that only comes from fighting for every scrap of joy. Those moments were their sanctuary, untouched by the stack of unpaid bills on the kitchen table or the ache in Elena's bones from double shifts. But autumn brought a shadow. Tommy started coughing, small hacks at first, dismissed as a cold from the crisp mountain air. Then came the fevers, the nights where he'd curl into Elena's side, his small body burning like a fevered coal. The doctors in Boise were kind but baffled, shuffling them to specialists in Salt Lake City. Leukemia, the word fell like a stone into still water, rippling through their world. Stage 4. The kind that doesn't wait. Elena quit her job, trading tips for hospital vending machines and the sterile beep of machines. They moved into a Ronald McDonald house near the clinic, the swing set a distant memory packed into storage. Tommy's hair fell out in soft clumps, which Elena braided into tiny crowns they wore like warriors' helmets. "We're gonna beat this, kiddo," she'd whisper, holding his hand during the chemo drips that turned his veins to rivers of ice. He'd smile weakly, his freckles standing out against skin pale as fresh snow, and ask for stories about the swing, how it flew them to adventures in the wilds of Yellowstone, where grizzlies danced and rivers sang lullabies. Winter gripped the Rockies, blanketing the world in white while Tommy's world shrank to a hospital bed. Elena read to him from dog-eared books of cowboys and explorers, her voice cracking like thin ice. One night, as snowflakes tapped the window like impatient fingers, Tommy looked up at her with those starlit eyes. "Mom, when I get big, I'm gonna build you the biggest swing in the world. So you can swing forever." Elena nodded, tears carving warm paths down her cheeks, because she knew, deep in the marrow of her weary bones, that forever was slipping away. Spring arrived too late. On a morning when the first robins returned, Tommy slipped quietly from the world, his hand going slack in hers. The hospital room felt vast and empty, the machines silenced like mourners at a grave. Elena drove home to Boise alone, the highways blurring through her grief. She unpacked the swing set piece by piece, the chains clinking like chains of memory. She hung it from the old oak, sat on the seat that still bore the faint imprint of Tommy's weight, and pushed herself gently into the air. Now, years later, Elena watches other children play in the neighborhood park, their laughter a bittersweet echo. She volunteers at the children's ward in Boise, pushing tiny swings for kids fighting their own battles, telling them stories of a boy who touched the moon. But every evening, she returns to her backyard, to the empty swing swaying in the breeze. And in the quiet, she swears she hears Tommy's voice, "Higher, Mom." To the stars. The wind carries it away, but it lingers in her heart, a sad, sacred song of a love that outlasts the swing, the seasons, even the stars.